have a beer with Duncan. I love to have a beer with Dunk. We drink in moderation, and we never ever ever get rolling drunk. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Duncan, 'cause Duncan's me mate. I love to have a beer with Kevin. I love to have a beer with Kev. We drink in moderation, and he drives me home in his big old Chev. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Kevin, 'cause Kevin's me mate. I love to have a beer with Patrick. I love to have a beer with Pat. We drink in moderation, and it wouldn't really matter if the beer was flat. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Patrick, 'cause Patrick's me mate. I love to have a beer with Robert. I love to have a beer with Bob. We drink in moderation, just one more and back on the job. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Robert, 'cause Bob is me mate. I love to have a beer with Barry. I love to have a beer with Baz. He's a little bit tight-fisted. I'm sure he hasn't shouted, but he says he has. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Barry, 'cause Barry's me mate. I love to have a beer with Joseph. I love to have a beer with Joe. But when his turn to shout comes around, he says he has to go. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Joseph, 'cause Joe is me mate. I love to have a beer with Farhad. I love to have a beer with Fred. We drink in moderation, but after one glass it goes to his head. We drink at the town and country, where the atmosphere is great. I love to have a beer with Farhad, 'cause Farhad's me mate. I love to have a beer with Raymond. I love to have a beer with Ray. I drink in moderation, but I can sit here and drink all day. Because of coronavirus, I have to self-isolate. I love to have a beer with Raymond, 'cause he's me only mate.
Very good.
Oh, thank you.
Very good, Dad.
Okay, now it's Joe's turn.
Amazing!
It's far there.
Didn't get you in that song, Rachel, sorry. Nothing, what rhymes with Rachel?
That was brilliant.